Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I saw the news about Bill Gates' intentions to leave his kids with $10 million. And a lot of people think that that is too little money because he is worth almost 90 billion and 10 million is less than 10% of his entire net worth. And people are saying that if they were in the position that their kids are in, they'll be very upset because their dad should leave them with a lot more money than just 10 million each. And if you really think about it, $10 million is very little money compared to how much their dad is worth. And considering that recently the family stayed at an island that costs about $100,000 a night, and yeah, so if you're used to living that way, then $10 million is not going to go a long way. It's not going to last for you at all because they're used to living very lavishly. But here's why I think that the idea of leaving your kids with all of your money and a whole bunch of money is in a way a poverty mentality, and it is a sign of insecurity. So Michael Bloomberg summarized it best. He said, if you want to show your children how much you love them, the single best thing is to support organizations that will create a better world for them and their children. And this really tells you about how the minds of extremely wealthy people work. Not all of them, obviously. Some of them are still very selfish. But for a lot of them, especially the 1%ers, they actually give to charity a lot. They give a lot of money to charity, despite all the negative things that you hear about them in the media. And oh, by the way, Michael Bloomberg founded Bloomberg LP Financial and Technology Company. He is worth $50 billion, and he intends to leave his wealth to charity as well. So Bill Gates is not the only one, obviously, who thinks this way. There's a lot of wealthy people that think the same way. But before I go through a list of them, I just want to say this. The idea that you have to leave every penny that you have for your children, I believe it is a poverty mentality, and this is why. If you grow up in lack and you, for instance, had to struggle your way to the top, it leaves such a negative impression on you that you obviously will not want your kids to experience the same thing. If you're from a lineage of people that have experienced more poverty than they have wealth, you are going to be very much influenced by the fear that poverty can return at any time if you're not careful. So basically, even if you become wealthy, if you work hard and become wealthy and you climb your way out of poverty, for a lot of people, their wealth feels precarious to them. They don't feel as if they have planted deep enough roots in wealth to sustain it. And so they try very hard to hold on to the wealth and pass it on to their kids. And they don't think about the bigger picture of the rest of the world and other people that are still suffering and other problems that need to be solved. They only think about their kids and their family and the way that they can continue to sustain their wealth. So that's why I think that trying to leave your kids with a whole bunch of money is a poverty mentality. If you notice, most of the people that talk about generational wealth and trying to build generational wealth for their kids, these are people that do not come from wealth. A lot of them are people that do not come from wealth. People that come from wealth and have created their own wealth, like Bill Gates, for instance, they have created wealth for themselves, so they're more secure. And this is where the insecurity comes in. So people like Bill Gates are more secure in their ability to build wealth and their ability to continue to build wealth, and for their kids to continue to build wealth regardless of whether or not they are left with wealth. Here is an example of some of the billionaires that have decided that they will not be leaving all of their wealth to their kids. So we already know Bill Gates, he intends to give 10 million each to his kids despite being worth $90 billion. Warren Buffett is the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He's worth $77 billion and he intends to give $2 billion to each of his kids. Mark Zuckerberg, owner of Facebook, he's currently worth $64 billion. He's still pretty young. He intends to give 99% of his wealth to the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, which it's a foundation that he created with his wife, and the foundation is dedicated to personalized learning, curing disease, connecting people, building strong communities. So these are all very important things that they do in the world to make the world a better place, and Mark Zuckerberg intends to leave his wealth to that foundation. If you guys know who Chuck Finney is, he is a co-founder of Duty Free Shoppers Inc. and he's worth $8 billion. He intends to give 99% of his fortune. Actually, he's given most of it away to charity already. He's already given over 99% of his fortune, and he has less than $5 million left. And this is his decision that he chose to make because he sees the bigger picture and knows that there's more to life than simply accumulating a whole bunch of wealth just so that you and your future generations can waste it, basically. Andrew Lloyd Webber, he's the creator of Phantom of the Opera and Cats. He's worth $1 billion. And he also does not believe in inherited money because he believes that if his kids inherit a whole bunch of money, they will have little incentive to work. So he plans on donating his money to charity and to other areas of theater and music. And then there's Pierre Omidyar. He is the co-founder of eBay. He's worth $8 billion and he wants to use his fortune to solve some of the world's problems. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of billionaires out there that do not intend for their kids to inherit their money because they simply think that their money can be put to better use than simply giving it to their kids. And the thing is, when people inherit a lot of money that they did not earn, they are less likely to dedicate their life to doing good work for, that will benefit other people. They may become spoiled and just focus on wasting their life away and spending the money. The reason why I think that trying to leave all of your wealth to your kids is a sign of insecurity mainly is because if you are wealthy and you have children and you trust that you have raised your children the right way, you have given them the right resources, not money necessarily, but the exposure, the knowledge, the education, and the life philosophy that will allow them to have a good life. If you are secure in the fact that you have done all of those things, you're less likely to be so focused on leaving them with money because you already know that with all of these other skills, they are able to make money for themselves and still help other people in the process. So in more ways than one, honestly, I believe that trying to leave your kids with a whole bunch of wealth is a sign of insecurity on your part as a parent. It's not necessarily the positive thing that people think that it is. How many times have we seen that people inherit tons of money from their parents and they just waste the money, they become drug addicts, or they don't do anything beneficial for society? They just become socialites and get drunk and call paparazzis to follow them around, and they don't really do anything for anybody else. So yeah, I think that these guys that have decided to leave their fortune to their foundations and to charity really are the ones pushing this world forward because they're their fortune funds a lot of the cures for diseases that we have in the 21st century. It helps to propel technology to give everyone an easier life. They help a lot of countries that are underdeveloped in so many ways that it is sad when I see people on social media talking about, well, he should have left his kids with more money. And it's like, where do you think his money is going to? Just because his money isn't going to his kids doesn't mean it's going up in flames. It's been put to good use that will benefit the rest of the world. But of course, people can't see beyond the obvious. They want to buy Birkins and fancy shoes, so they think that that's what life is all about. But there's so many more important things that people can do with their wealth. And when you reach the level of wealth that these people have attained, it gets to a point where your thinking is so advanced, it's so far ahead of the average person who's just trying to buy nice things and show it on social media, that you no longer think about the little things. You're thinking about the big picture. You're thinking about moving the world forward, not just your kids and your wardrobe. So yeah, I absolutely understand why Bill Gates have decided to leave his kids with just $10 million. He probably will increase the amount though. I doubt if he's going to leave it at that, especially since his wife is challenging it, which is curious because she probably agreed to it while they were married. So I'm not sure why she's changing her mind now that she's divorcing him. But anyway, that's all I have on this. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.